Good morning, everyone. I'm Teresa Harding. This is my husband, Dr. Roger Harding. We are Presidential Diamonds in doTERRA, and we have been doing this for eight and a half years. I think I always say 9 years or something. But we've been doing this for a long time, and we are very excited to help you guys because we have been working for quite some time, over a year, on a leadership skills series that we've learned from a lot of different groups. We've learned from the Cubbies, we've learned from the Scoresby group, we've learned from a lot of different groups who teach leadership skills. So we've come up with 8 that we think are the most powerful, and we've started having retreats with these in an advanced setting with advanced doTERRA leaders. Now, the way we are doing this setup is that even if you are a beginner, you will be able to listen to it and it will help you, okay? But for advanced people, you'll be able to take more of the serious information and advance your business and grow it and help you to become a better leader. And the feedback we're getting from people is that this is really powerful. So this is the 3rd leadership skill that we want to teach you. And you are lucky because Dr. Harding is going to be teaching you this today. The reason I have asked him to do this is because he is amazing at this. It's about creating vision and purpose. He's going to tell you more about that, but he has had trainings. He's been in, he's trained himself. When he used to work for Nike before he was a dentist, they would send him over to Europe. They sent him over to Europe to go train the people over there. He is very, very good. And so you'll learn a lot by hearing what he has to say. So, Dr. Harding, now that I've been going on and on,
is it my
it's your turn? Yes.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for letting me do this. You gonna stay or are you gonna leave me alone?
I'm gonna leave, but he's kind of hot, so I like to watch him for just a second.
Okay, well, I'm gonna share my screen with you because I have a couple of slides I put together. And bear with me while I do this. All right, today we're going to talk about creating vision and purpose. It's a super important topic, okay? Last week, Teresa talked to you about teamwork and that sort of thing. And that's an important topic too. I don't want to say mine's more important or hers is more important. I'm just going to say this is super important. I want to start off by telling a story, okay? Now here's the story. You guys, if you've ever been on a cruise, okay? I like going on cruises a lot. And as you build up or as you work up toward going on the cruise, there's a lot of planning and there's a lot of excitement. And I would even say that you may be creating a vision for what this cruise is going to be like. Now, this is what my vision for the cruise looks like, okay? There's going to be a lot of cool underwater stuff because I like going to warm climates. I also like seeing ruins or ancient cities or whatever. So these are some of my visions. One of my visions also includes the food, okay? And I think to myself, I'm gonna eat so healthy. And then sometimes my vision isn't really the reality and my food consumption ends up looking more like that. I also have this great vision that I'm gonna work out and exercise every morning because I know deep down inside I'm gonna be eating the chocolate and the little swan eclairs or whatever those things are. But then reality sets in and this is what actually happens instead of going and working out all day. Anyway, so the vision. Now this is my vision for my next cruise that I go on. I want to go on a cruise ship that has one of these flow rider things on it. Doesn't that look awesome? Anyway, super excited about that. Now the vision for a cruise, it's important because it helps you plan your activities, your events, and it gets you excited about what's going to happen. Now, how does this translate to doTERRA? I want to tell you a little story here. Why are vision and purpose so important? I want to go back to 2008. Now, Teresa at the introduction told you that we've been part of doTERRA for 8.5 years now. If you do the math, you'll realize 8.5 years ago was about the spring of 2008. doTERRA was just getting started. We were fortunate enough to be around at the beginning and be part of the company right from the very get-go. In 2008, the owners of the company decided, let's put together this thing. We're going to call it a Founders Club. And for the first 25 people that achieve the rank of gold, we're going to let you be in this Founders Club, and you're going to share in the profits of the company for the rest of your life. So we thought, that is amazing. That's awesome. And I watched Teresa. I was working full time. I had 2 different offices that I was working out of, and so I was super busy. But I watched Teresa create this excitement and vision and purpose for the people on her team. Every interaction she had with people, it was, okay, we're going to have the most founders of any other team in doTERRA. That's going to be our goal. And she got everyone excited and enthusiastic about that vision. And what happened is, not only did it create that same excitement with leaders on our team, and they got their people excited to get more founders, it helped our business to grow from the very beginning. And I mean, I remember the nights, those late nights, getting people to qualify for gold right there at the end of, it was like August, September, when we were just really pushing to try to get all the people to qualify. And it created so much enthusiasm and excitement that massive teams, now these teams are massive, have grown from this initial vision and purpose. So that was the story about the U.S. Founders Club. Now, what about you guys right now? What can you do right now that will, help you create vision and purpose? Because there is no Founders Club right now, right? What there are lots of other things that you can rally your team for. You can create your own clubs, your own little incentives. I have a list of some ideas here I want to share with you. Just off the top of my head, in March, end of February and March in 2017, there's going to be the leadership retreat. That's a great thing to rally your people and say, hey, we want to get 10, we want to get 20 people at this leadership retreat. To get to leadership retreat, you have to qualify as silver by the end of January. But the enthusiasm and excitement and the vision that is shared with these people, with the people on your team, is what's going to help get them excited and want to move toward that. A couple others, the Mexico trip. Now that's over, but Diamond Club is another awesome thing. Incentives for going to convention, the annual January trip, the incentive trip. This year we're going to Cancun, Mexico. Next year there'll be something. I've heard of teams that make their own. They call them something like Sprint to Silver or a Gold Rush, or, there are different things. You can just come up with ideas within your team that helps them get on the same page with that same vision. Why do we want to create a vision? I think you guys know, but here are some concrete reasons why you want to create a vision. It motivates team members. Without vision, sometimes they'll just stagnate and not do anything. But with that vision, it will motivate them to action. Having a common purpose inspires people. This goes back to last week. We talked about teamwork. Teresa talked about teamwork. And having that common purpose, when you're working together towards something, it inspires people to do great things and move forward in their business. Vision will also keep you going when things get hard. Now, back to the Founders Club, do you think it was easy back then? No, it wasn't easy. We didn't have any training. We barely had a dozen oils or something, 20 oils maybe, that we had. We didn't have all the other products. Things were difficult then, but that vision kept people excited and motivated to move on. It's your compass that keeps you moving toward your real desires. If you really sit down and think, what is your vision that you have for your business, your doTERRA business, and what is the purpose that you serve being that leader, that's going to help you get to your real desires, and that's going to keep you pointed in the right direction, just like a compass. Steve Jobs, we love quoting Steve Jobs. He says, if you're working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision will pull you. And that's what we want. We want people to have that vision, that they just continually get pulled. And you're not, as a leader, having to push them along and encourage and motivate them. That vision is pulling them along. Now, social mirror. What do you think that is? I'm gonna read here something about this because I'm not too smart to memorize this. Social mirror theory. It's a real thing, and what it says is this. It says people are not capable of self-reflection without taking into consideration a peer's interpretation of the experience. So in other words, people define and resolve their internal musings through others' viewpoints. Now, what do you think? Is that true? Is that true for you? Do you worry about what other people are thinking about what you're doing? Unfortunately, it's a very common problem. You know, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all these other things where people are posting, this is my life, look at me, I'm so cool. And we start to worry about what we're going to do or what we're going to be based on what we think other people might think about us. If your vision is based on the social mirror, or if our vision is based on the social mirror, we make choices based on the expectations of others. Now, it's been said that if our vision is no more than a reflection of the social mirror, we have no connection with our inner selves and uniqueness. We are living out the scripts of others, family, friends, associates, even enemies or the media. And we got to realize that some scripts are good and other scripts are not good. We've got to determine what we want our script to be without concern for this social mirror. I like this quote: when man discovered the mirror, he began to lose his soul. Yeah, scary, right? Now, here's a list of a lot of questions. I don't want you to worry about writing them all down or whatever, because we're going to post this list of questions on teresaharding.com with the recording of this video. But I want you to pick a time frame. 5 years is a good one, and write out your vision. And these questions that I have here are going to help you with that vision, okay? What does your organization look like? What's your rank? Power of 3. What do people think about when they think about your organization? How do you personally measure success? And you can read the list. You can read the list here. I'll just point out right down here, what is your why? We hear that quite a bit, okay? What is your why? This is going to help you figure that out, okay? Figure out what your why is. But these are important questions. They help you start thinking and going down that road of determining what you want for your vision, okay? Now, let's move on to the next slide. Here's a question for you. This is an important question. What is more important, a valuable, awesome leader or a valuable, amazing vision? Okay? We're talking about vision today. The last 2 weeks we've been talking about other things. What do you think is the answer to that? I'm not going to let you answer because we can't communicate, but I'll tell you what I think my answer is. And you got to think about it this: will people buy into a vision if they don't buy into a leader? Okay, another question here. If you don't buy into the leader, but you love the vision, then what? I mean, think about that for yourself. I think the answer is that the leader is more important. Now, I am talking about vision today, and vision is super important. But if the team doesn't trust the leader, that was our very first leadership principle. If the team does not trust the leader, then the vision doesn't really matter. You can have an amazing vision, and if the leader isn't trustworthy and they don't really believe in you, then the vision isn't going to inspire people. It's best if you have both. Sometimes you have a leader that's great without an amazing vision, and that may or may not work. But if you couple the two, and we're going to be training you over these 8 weeks how to be a great leader, vision is going to play a huge role in that. So you're going to be a great leader and vision. So make sure you have that trust, because sometimes, well, let's just move on. There's an important Japanese saying, and if you can read that, then great. But here's the Japanese saying: vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. I want you to think about that. If you have vision and there's no action, it's just a dream. Next week, we're going to be talking about what that action is and how to create that action and develop a plan for the action. If you go into action without the vision of how things are supposed to be, it's going to be a nightmare for you. And I've seen a lot of people do this. You know, they just go into the business, they start talking to people, they start sharing the oils, but they don't really have a vision of where they want to go. They don't have a plan like we talked about on that cruise of where they're going to go, what stops they're going to see, what excursions they're going to go on when they get to that beautiful island. You got to have that vision and the action and be that trustworthy leader, and you're going to see great results. Thanks for letting me have some time with you guys today. It's been fun to do this. I have seen, and I think all of you will agree, as you look around at leaders in doTERRA, you'll see that a lot of them that are super successful, they have an incredible vision that they're passionate about. Go through those questions, answer those questions, and write up your own vision. Write up and figure out where you're going to be in 5 years from now. That's a powerful tool, and then share that vision with your team. Help get them motivated. Sometimes what you need to do is include them with you in the decision-making process. You can get together with them and say, hey, I want to help our team create this vision. And you can take that time and with their help and their assistance and their buy-in, create that vision, and then it'll move you guys forward. Thank you so much for letting me spend some time with you. And I think next week, Teresa and I are going to do this together. That'll be even more fun. All right, you guys are amazing, and I'm signing off.